Hi folks. Acrylic. I did this oil painting on 2mm MDF 3 weeks ago. I want to, and that's oil, I want to abstract it somewhat and try to make these trees here more slabby. We'll see how we go. I'm going to put that to one side where I can have a look at it. Probably fall off. It's on my old laptop. Right, now you can just about see the top of the board. It's 14 inches by 11 inches. So I want to rough it in as well as possible, as quickly as possible. I'm using some vet gel. Oh, here we are, Acrylic gel. It's a retard. Well, I'm using it as a retarder. See, put me onto it, and it's very good. It's very cheap, but the postage costs more than the actual vet gel. It's the sort of stuff vets use to insert their arms in rubber gloves or latex gloves into animals for obstetric reasons. I forgot to put my pinny on, so excuse me while I do that. I don't want that acrylic all over my camouflage shorts. Hope you had a good. Oh dear, we've got rain again. Oh dear. Got me out of cutting the grass for another day. Right, it's quite a heavy shower. Well, I hope you had a good weekend. I did. Okay, on and see my favourite football team, Crystal Palace. Didn't win against Everton, but a very enjoyable afternoon. We had somebody couldn't use their season ticket, and a friend of my son's, so gave it to me. So the lovely freebie. I hope the light's okay. I've not put any artificial light on. Hopefully the camera will cope with that. So palette, cadmium yellow, pale, medium, yellow ochre, cadmium red, ultramarine, bit of black, some burnt umber, which I probably won't use in this one, and some burnt sienna. I don't really like that colour, burnt sienna. I prefer the Winsor & Newton, but I think in the acrylic it's probably the same colour. But in oil and watercolour, that burnt sienna is much deeper red and a wonderful colour. But it's just sort of average here. So I'm going to put in a bit of a sky. So I'll get that in first. So try and be as slabby as I can. I like the blue, so we'll have some of that. A bit of vet gel, let's just get that on there. I've kept my palette lovely and moist in a stay wet palette. I mean my greaseproof paper. So I've got my oil paints in the Masterson Premier palette. So just get some paint on there. I've gessoed, well, I've primed the board. Oh, it's coming down now. Primed the board with PVA glue, slightly diluted, with some plaster dust. Now, this is not quite what I had intended, but I'm limited by my experience of painting this sort of abstract style, which I tried on Saturday for you. I did a nice, what did I do? I've got it in a frame at the moment. Oh, a little woody scene. Let's have a touch of ochre with that. I'm trying the slabby look with this. Try to use as many or few brush strokes as possible. Now it's an L-shaped. It's quite a bit of sky in this one. But if you're doing this gesso, we're using PVA glue and plaster dust. Make sure when you dry it with a hairdryer, don't scour it because it will lift up the gesso, the homemade gesso. So let's just fill that up with a bit of paint. See how we go. I'm inspired to do these by Paul Rowland, the British Impressionist, a terrific painter. And he's sort of verging on abstract expressionism. Well, certainly is. And it's a sort of, I've been trying to go that way for some time, but it's funny how a lifetime of painting literally, how difficult it is to break away from it, but you have to if you want to produce original work that isn't a copy of a photo. There's some movement in the sky. And because it's acrylic, it will dry nice and quickly, even with the vet gel. I need some more ochre in a minute, I think. Now, if your paint's not dry and you're working over it, it will lift off if you're not careful. So, beware of that. I love oil painting; it's my favourite way. But for speed and drying, this is for me. Get some blue down there. Oh, I put a bit of a cloud in, big cloud in there, plenty of paint. Alright, we'll see how we go with that. Okay, clean the brush. I'm going to have to get an inch. This is an inch flat, but it's a bit floppy compared to the graduate ones I've been using. So I'll, well, next time I go to the range, if they've got one, I'll get one. They're all. This is a Dale around the Georgian long flat. The other ones I'm using are mainly, well, they're graduate brushes. Lovely brushes, very, very cheap. But that's the Dale around one. It's an inch flat. So I'll use this one. Because I'm a great believer that the larger the brush, or use the largest brush possible. Quite a mouthful that was. Okay, a bit of swig of tea. And I'll put in a bit of bluey, bit of viridian, bit of blue, bit of cage yellow. And a bit of white. I want this sort of distant. Need more blue in there. Okay. We'll do a bit of black, I think, and a bit of cage yellow, a bit of red, a bit of black. Right, and the nice the hair there. Get rid of that. So whatever you put in, you can change later. Well, I get some good dark now. We can go over that. Whatever you put on, you're going to change. Okay. That's a bit too blue, that. I think I'll just take that down a tone. Bit of white in that, so blue. Right, okay, now we're going for a bit of a distance now, bit of red, blue. Just a bit of distance. I could put a bit of a barn in there, I might do, because the original has, but I'm not making anything literal here. I'm just trying to show this in sort of slabbiness and slurring. Now, but there's got to be a handle on reality. Well, I want to put a handle on reality, insofar as I want the tones to be right. I want that to be a light ochre, but whether I don't want to put it in small strokes. I want to do it in large sweeps. So let's get that. So I'll put a bit of gel in. Right, so let's and we'll put in a bit of I did put some water in here, so I'll do that again because I quite like that. But I want some darker. Right, okay, let's get in some of that sky colour. I'll use a smaller brush now. I'll leave that in soak. I don't want the bristles to get damaged. This is really simplifying to the nth degree, yet still keeping a handle on reality. Right, get a bit of darker blue in there. Right, okay, now we've got to darken around that a bit. So a bit of Persiana, a bit of this, bit of that. Just a bit of reflection. Right, just go back with a bit of that across there. Bit of white, just right. Okay, that'll do for that. Now we can go back into the heavy stuff. I'm going to go down to a 3/4. Oh no. I've got this inch flat, it's a short flat, and I don't really like it, I never have. But at the time, the studio that was selling these didn't have the 3/4 inch one, and it wasn't a long one. This is quite short, and I don't like it. But that's not dry yet, so let's beef up the sky a little bit. I'll go back to the Daler Rowney. They're all Daler Rowney brushes. It's very hard to get rid of your brushes, isn't it? Okay, now I've just wondered if that's dark enough, but I'll leave that for a moment. Try to simplify it, but get a bit of movement in that sky instead of bleeding out everything to infinity or blurring everything to infinity. Keep some hard edges. Right, okay, let's get my other brush. Right, okay, now I'll give that a dry with the hairdryer. Something you can't do with, well, you can with oil, but it takes much longer. Right, now we're going with some warmer greens. Bit of red in that. Nice bit of shadow in the bottom. Okay, then there's something like it. We'll put in a bit of dark green. Soften the edge there. It's got a bit of counter change going. The original I'm going to put on Etsy later. I think I'll have to put in a bit of blue over that just to open it up a bit. Let's get a bit of a lighter bluey green. Right, okay, well just let that go. Now we're going to do a bit of foreground now. So we'll have a bit of red, a bit of umber, a bit of yellow. Bit of red in that, for reading it, not enough. I'm going to put in some poppies and things. gotta have that bit of a reality. That's nice. A lot of colour in there, and a bit of black and. So yeah, let's go in there just to get the dark in there, but because the water's not going to come in that far. But this is Nutbourne, an impression of the salt marshes, the Chichester salt marshes, that is. Let's just get a bit of light in there. Okay, I'm quite liking that. Alright, let's put a few poppies on. Yeah. I want to dry that bit just so that I can just drag over some of that sky colour to just open up some of the edges here. Oh look, I forgot my tea. Right, where's that inch brush? Right, let's get that bluey colour. Not sure if that's very convincing. Right, let's get some brighter greens. The Viridian is extremely useful for this. It's a lovely range of greens. Right, there's a nice big wodge of green now, a little bit of red. Right, I'm not displeased with that. I'll put it in a mount, well, back in the frame, and we'll have a look, see what we've done. This didn't take long to do, but it doesn't have to take a long time to do. It's an impression, what I would call an abstract impression, and that just about fits in the frame. So there we are. So I've taken out a lot of that detail. Let's move you over. Get it up a bit. So there we are. So It's still a little bit unslabby. I was hoping for a broader, but I can't get any broader brush strokes with the brushes that I've got. I'd probably need a sort of 1.5 inches, but I've got these varnish brushes, but I don't think they would make much of a difference. But we've got a great range of greens in there, and this is sort of to the distant, the ones further down, going to this distance here. No barn, I don't think there's enough room in there to put a realistic barn in, but we've got the water. So I hope you enjoy that, folks. I'm working slowly towards this type of painting. I've been trying to do it for a long time, and it's a bit tricky because it's like you're taking too much out and not putting enough back in. But let's just separate that bit there. That's a bit better. I'll sign it. I think it's worth a signature, but I'm not the judge of that. You are. It's a bit of water. Let's have a bit of black colour. Really put that in my tea. Another brush given to me by my friend Alan Owen. He's a great friend, Alan, and I know many of you watch his lovely watercolour tutorials for more or less beginners. But trying to make them that simple after a lifetime of painting masterful pictures is quite a challenge for Alan and for me. Right, so no detail, no twigs, no branches, just slabs, and to put in, I don't know about this bit here, but so I'm going to let that go. I'll put it on YouTube now, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for looking, guys. Bye bye.